YouTube. It is the morning. It's the morning. And it's Wednesday, July 5th. So right now I'm actually just reading the word and doing kind of like my morning devotional time. A lot of you guys have asked about this either in YouTube comments, but a lot of you guys have also like emailed me or messaged me otherwise on some form of social media asking questions about my morning devotion time. I think a lot of people want to spend more time with God or want to like read the word, but don't exactly know how to go about that or are kind of overwhelmed by the process. So just really quick what I do in the morning. I have a devotional, which I will grab. So this is called Sparkling Gems. I think it's volume 2 by a man named Rick Renner, who is a pastor in the Ukraine, Russia, somewhere overseas. I love his devotionals because they're like a little more in depth and lengthy. So if you're like kind of like a new Christian, this might be like a little bit intense for you because it goes into a lot of like Greek language stuff. Yes, I always start my day with a devotion because it kind of like gets my mind into the mindset of like, okay, Lynette, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna do adult activities, not that kind of adult activities, this kind. And it kind of just like gets my mind in the right like frame of mind, if that makes sense. I know if I were to recommend a devotion, I would definitely recommend any of the devotions by Joyce Meyer. Joyce Meyer has a ton about like controlling your emotions and your thoughts and devotions that are specifically for women and like having confidence and stuff like that. So I would totally recommend any devotion from her. I also know there's a really popular one called Jesus Calling that a lot of people like. I haven't personally read it, but it's been recommended to me 1,000 times. So I would definitely recommend starting your day off with some sort of devotion. Like I said, it just kind of gets you in like the right frame of mind, I think, to like sit down and like read the word. After that, I just start reading the word. So the Bible that I have is a parallel Bible, and what that means is that there is one translation on this side and one translation on that side. So I have the New American Standard on one side and the Amplified on the other. Another question I get all the time is what translation of the Bible are you supposed to get? Or like people get confused thinking, are there like different Bibles? And there's literally probably hundreds or thousands of translations of the Bible. They're not different Bibles, they're just Bibles translated from the original Greek or Hebrew of the word and put into like different like rhetoric. Like if you've ever picked up a King James Bible, that was like translated in like the 16 or 1700s, so it's very like old English, kind of difficult to read. Whereas some of the newer versions, like maybe like the New Living Translation or the English Standard Version, those are translated into more like the way that we speak today. So they're not changing what the Bible says, they're just translating it very closely into how we would say the sentence that is in the word, if that makes sense. I definitely recommend the New American Standard. I definitely recommend the New Living Translation. Those are probably my two favorites that I know are like the most accurate and also like just the easiest to read and comprehend. But yeah, what I usually do is I just sit down with the word and I'll read somewhere between like 2 to 4 chapters. It kind of depends on how much time I'm spending with each chapter. And I have like a notebook where I just kind of keep notes of anything that kind of sticks out to me when I'm reading, any questions that I have that I want to write down to like do further study on. Sometimes I'll feel like God's kind of like talking to me about some stuff while I'm reading, which that's another thing people always ask about is, what do you mean God's talking to you? Like, do you hear a voice? Largely, no. It's just kind of like an inner knowing. Like I'll be reading something and then like a thought will kind of come out of nowhere that kind of answers a question that I had or encourages me or reminds me of something, and it will just be like almost like a foreign thought that like I know that I didn't come up with, and it's a good thought that brings me peace or hope or joy or something. And that's kind of like how I know God's speaking to me, is like, especially when I'm in his word and something out of his word kind of comes to life to me. That's more of how God usually communicates with us, is just like, and that's God speaking to your spirit, really. So yes, now that I've talked about that for like 5 minutes, what this video is going to be about today is a full day of eating. Are we so excited? But I'm actually going to challenge myself today to have all of my meals be 300 calories-ish or less. Not because your meals need to be that low, but I know a lot of times we'll get to the end of our day, especially those of us who track macros, and we may only have like 200 or 300 calories, and we're like, how the heck am I gonna make a meal, like a satisfying meal out of 300 calories? So today, I'm going to show you. I think I'm gonna have like 5-ish meals that are 300 calories. So we'll see how that goes. Also, for the last like 2 weeks or so, I have been like super good on my diet, and unfortunately I'm not seeing a ton of change. A little, my body is changing, but like I want to make sure for sure that it's changing. So I have decreased my macros a little bit to about 1,600 calories, where I was kind of averaging around 1,700 calories or so on my high carb days, and on my low carb days it's like we at 1490 or something like that, which is low. But when I don't work out, I'm literally sitting at my desk all day not moving. I'm not burning anything. We're gonna give that a last go. I have a feeling I'm gonna be wrapping up this cut in the next several weeks, because if my body won't lose weight at these new calories, then I know I'm gonna have to do something kind of more extreme to lose weight, which is not worth it to me at this point in my life. I'm not trying to like super duper hardcore diet, be super hungry, have super low calories. Like, first of all, that's just not healthy for an extended period of time, and it's just not a level I'm willing to go to, you know? So, but hopefully bringing my calories down just about 100 calories per day will jumpstart some more progress, and yeah, move on with my day. What are you doing with my kitten? Mia. Just thundering through. Hi! What are you doing with all of my kittens? You have them both. Oh! What is that noise? She's so mad that she's near her sister. Good times. What? Good times in the Hoyle house. Where do you think you guys are going? Are you coming to the gym? I don't think so. Go back upstairs. Go back. No. I am actually making myself go to that gym today instead of working out from home. I've been working out from home a lot lately. Pretty much only making it to the gym like maybe 2 or 3 times a week. I'm just in a phase where working out at home is just like way more satisfying and it makes more sense for my life right now because I'm really busy with work. But today I was like, Lynette, go lift legs for real. Not like your little jump squats in the garage, but like lift something that's almost as heavy as you. So that's what I'm gonna do. Can y'all see what that is? All right, so I'm done with the gym. I did glutes and like 30 minutes of cardio, and I'm a hot, sweaty mess because it's so humid. But that's how Michigan summers always are. It's just super humid. Anyway, I got Starbucks. Now, I don't normally eat food out a lot on my channel. Like, I don't ever film me eating food out for the most part because I typically don't eat out. I pretty much cook from home like 95% of the time, and if I do go out, it's with Matt for like some fun meal. But I actually have an errand or two to run, and I wanted to get some food into me since I just worked out like really hard. And when I get home, I kind of want to just get started with work really quickly and not have to worry about cooking. So I got from Starbucks one of my favorite meals ever, and it is the spinach feta wrap. It's really hot. Inside is spinach and feta and roasted tomatoes. I don't know, but if you've never had the spinach feta wrap from Starbucks, you should. It's 290 calories, I think. I'll put the macros here below, but it's like such an amazing macro-friendly thing to pick up at Starbucks if you're like on vacation or somewhere where like you're trying to eat something a little bit better, but you don't want to just grab like a bagel or something. So yes, I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna get going, and I will check in with you guys later. All right, so I cannot see myself in this camera, so I don't even actually know if I'm talking to you because my eyes are dilated. This is probably actually a bad choice. Let me get in my car. All right, so today has not gone according to plan at all. Basically, I got home from the gym, and as soon as I got home, I started noticing that I was kind of having like light flashes in my peripherals, or that like, kind of like when you stare at like a lamp or you stare at the sun for too long, and like when you look away, you still see like kind of like pieces of your vision missing that are shaped like that light source. I'm sure you know what I mean, but like I felt like I was seeing that, and it lasted for like 30 minutes when I got home, and I was like, dude, what the heck is this? Like, I wasn't staring at any light. Like, why is my vision blacking out like this? So I decided to lay down, which I was super annoyed about because I had to get to work, but whatever. So I laid down, and when I woke up from my nap like 30 minutes later, I had the worst headache of my life. And I tried to sit up, and I was so dizzy I thought I was gonna throw up in my bed. And so I was like getting up and trying to move around, and I was like super dizzy, super nauseous. Like, I was getting really hot, kind of almost like how I feel when I've had panic attacks in the past, but I wasn't like having a panic attack. I just felt horrible. And so I like kind of calmed myself down. I was like, you're fine, like you're making this up, you're just thinking that something's wrong with you. Because I had been Googling like, what is this light thing in my eye? And Google said retinal detachment. So like, I think I was just like freaking myself out. So I go and I sit on the couch to try and like get some work done, but literally as I'm typing my clients' names up on like the thing I'm working on, I'm like getting more and more dizzy, and my eyes are like so hurting. Like my eyes are super sensitive to the computer screen. So I was like, all right, this is not gonna work. I need to go to the doctor because I don't know what's happening to me. So long story short, I went to the eye doctor just now. It's not retinal detachment, thank the Lord, but they think that I had something called an ocular migraine, which is where you get like, which I guess is like, you get like stuff in your peripherals or like flashes or like floaters in your eyes or something like that. And it's like, it can last for 30 minutes or whatever. And I guess you don't always get like normal migraine pain, like a headache that is normally accompanied with like normal migraines, but you can. And I think I did because just legitimately the pain was so bad. It was like all of the headspace around my eyes was just like super throbbing. I had to close all my curtains. I had to wear like an eye mask. I had to put like ice packs on my head because I was in so much pain. And even that didn't like help. It just kind of like took the absolute severe edge off that made me feel like I was dying. So long story short, it is 4:20 and all I've really had today is that spinach wrap, and I was supposed to get 4 more meals in today that were 300 calories. But like I was trying to make one of my meals, which was avocado toast, and the thought of eating like a creamy avocado was so disgusting to me. All I wanted was crackers. And we didn't have crackers, all we had was graham crackers. So like all I've had in the last few hours is a few graham crackers to try and settle my stomach. So meal number 2 was like 270 calories worth of graham cracker, which is just pure carbs essentially, which is fine. Like when I'm feeling sick and stuff like that, obviously diet is not my top priority. Like just doing whatever it takes to feel better is my top priority. But I'm feeling so much better, thank God. My head still hurts and they dilated my eyes so like I can't see very well. I can see enough to drive home, but like I can't see up close, so I'm not gonna be able to work until my vision starts getting better, which sucks because I don't like to keep a paying client waiting. So I'm gonna work, I'm probably gonna go home and try to work anyway. So yeah, that's life. Life happens sometimes. That's my life. Things always happen. But yeah, I'm gonna go home now and just thank God that this was not something more serious, and drink some water, maybe get some caffeine. I hear that helped. I'm sorry that this day may not turn out to be the full day of eating that I want it to be. I'm gonna do my best. I am hungry now, so I'm gonna go home and make one of my meals, maybe 2 of them, and just show you 2 different 300 calorie meals. All right, back home. Can you guys see how dilated my eyeballs is? Oh, it hurts to open my eyes to the light. Anyway, so my next meal is going to be avocado toast. A little bit different than last time though. I'm not gonna have an egg with it. Oh wait, I guess I am gonna have an egg with it because I've logged an egg. So I'm gonna do that. Very similar to what I showed you guys last time, but I'm gonna be using a different kind of bread, just like a more stereotypical sliced wheat bread as opposed to the fancy bread that I was using because I'm all out of that. But yes, gonna make that bread up. All right, so here is meal number 3 technically, if you count my graham crackers from earlier as a meal. Here it is. It's a little bit different than the last time I did the avocado toast, where I put the egg on the side now, and I actually just like dip the toast into the runny egg, which is amazing, and it kind of a little bit like easier to eat than having the egg on top of the toast. Y'all see this feta cheese on this toast? Oh my gosh. It's Trader Joe's Mediterranean feta cheese, and it is so freaking good. If you see it at your Trader Joe's and you like feta cheese, you will really like it because it's just, it's like the best like combination of spices, and I don't know, it tastes really good. And it's full fat cheese, but somehow it's only 4 grams of fat, I think. So you should get it. I'm gonna eat this meal now and enjoy it. And I'm not gonna show you me eating it because every time I do, I just look really creepy while I eat. And I'm like, and that's weird, right? We don't wanna see that. Not right now. Yes, after this, I'm just gonna get to work because I have to put like 8 to 10 hours of work into like 5 hours that I have left in my day. But the good news is that I didn't lose my eyeballs today or my brain, and I didn't die. Gotta focus on the positives, right? All right, so that plan of eating a bunch of 300 calorie meals today, that's not gonna happen. So it's like 7 o'clock right now. I've only eaten what you guys saw me eat today because I just don't have any appetite. My eyes are still really dilated, so like I'm just really sensitive to light on top of already like having had a migraine today, and my stomach is still a little bit off. I'm still feeling just like off in general. If any of you guys have ever had a migraine, then you know it's just like the worst, and it kind of just makes your day really hard to get through. But I do want to finish this full day of eating strong, so at least I show you what I'm eating. And the last meal that I'm making is kind of inspired by a client recently. You guys know, if you've been following me for a little bit, that I used to make breaded chicken all the time. I basically would just take chicken tenderloin or chicken breast, dip it in some egg, cover it in some extra crispy shake and bake, and then toss it in the oven for like 15-20 minutes, and that would give you kind of like a chicken tender, like a baked breaded chicken, fried chicken type thing. And I was on that kick for forever, and then just recently got super sick of breaded chicken after like 6 months of eating it, so I stopped eating it. But one of my clients recently texted me and was like, dude, I tried your breaded chicken recipe and I made like a chicken parmesan meal with it. And I was like, that's really smart. So now I'm gonna make like a healthy, macro-friendly chicken parmesan with a lot of vegetables, kicking up the vegetable factor and making it really, really low fat. Like, this is gonna be super low fat, which is awesome because normally chicken parmesan is like a higher fat meal. So it's not gonna be 300 calories. There's a way that you can make this 300 calories, but I have to get these calories in somehow by the end of the day, and I don't wanna eat anymore after this. I'm just like, I'm sick of eating. I wanna go to bed. So let's hop right in. Alright, so I've made the recipe of my breaded chicken recipe a video before on my channel. I'll see if I can link that below because it's really a good recipe if you're looking to get a little more creative with your protein sources. If you're sick of just like plain baked chicken, this has only a few more carbs and grams of fat, I think, than like normal baked chicken, but tastes a million times better. So yes, but I will do like a quick, easy tutorial of basically the lowdown of how I make this. So you'll need an egg whisked together with like some salt and pepper. That is what you're going to dip the chicken into. I have got some chicken cut up here. I decided that I'll just make Matt the same meal for dinner. So I've got my 4.5 ounces of chicken here and some chicken that I'm gonna use for his. I have it cut thin, like I don't use like a whole chicken breast that's like really big and thick. Having it cut thin will make it cook a little bit faster and also make it have like more coating and less chicken, which is delicious. So you basically just dip this chicken into the egg right here, just like wash it in it really quick. You need like a binding agent to get the breadcrumb to stick onto the chicken and not just like fall off when it's baking, and that's what the egg white or the egg is for. And then here's my favorite flavor of like a breadcrumb. It's shake and bake extra crispy. I've tried a couple different types and this is the best. It's just like, it's seasoned really well and tastes really good. I still add a little bit of seasoning to it because I'm so extra. Put some of this into just like a plastic bag like this, and I just take the chicken that I've dipped in egg and I place it in here and just kind of shake it around until it's totally coated. And then I put it on a baking sheet and put it in the oven at like 400 degrees ish for like 15 to 20 minutes. I have a meat thermometer though, so I always take the temperature of my chicken to make sure it's fully cooked because, as I may have mentioned before, I'm like really anal about chicken not being cooked. Just always afraid it's undercooked and I'm gonna get food poisoning, so yeah. And voila, you have some healthy baked chicken tenders. Now I'm gonna put that in the oven along with these guys after I bread them, and we'll see what happens. Just kidding, we know what's gonna happen. Some baked, delicious chicken is gonna come out of that oven and be bomb. That's what's gonna happen. Also, this is the pasta that I'm using, chickpea pasta. I vlogged about this really recently and said that it was just okay, but I feel like by the end of my meal I was like, I do like this. Just has a weird aftertaste that takes some getting used to, but it's higher fiber, it's lower carb, and it's higher protein than normal pasta. So I call that a win in my book. And it's like mostly chickpea and pea protein, plant-based. I'm down with that. So we have the cooked chickpea pasta in there with some sauteed mushroom and onions. So I'm going to add some marinara sauce as the sauce for this. I'm gonna stir that in there, and then I'm gonna put the chicken on top with some more sauce, put cheese on top of that, and throw it all into the oven for a couple of minutes just to get it like all like baked and like yummy and delicious. So and there is the finished product. Chicken parmesan, healthy style. I would pick that up to show you guys more closely, but it is super hot, so I'm gonna wait till it cools. But this is probably gonna end my vlog today. Definitely did not end up being the vlog that I thought it was gonna be. And honestly, I almost stopped filming after I got super sick earlier because I was like, obviously was dealing with so much and didn't think that I would be able to produce like a helpful vlog. But I do really like this recipe that I just made, and I'm sure it's gonna be super delicious. And also, I feel like I've started to vlog so many times in the last month where I did like a day in the life or a full day of eating, and then like something would happen happen midway through the day that just like threw me out of my zone, and I just like didn't finish filming. So I just wanted to like stick to it today and be like, okay, just show your life. Like show that like stuff just happens and you gotta just bounce back and work through it. And how stuff like today doesn't necessarily have to take you away from your fitness goals. You know, it would have been easy to come home and been like super emotional and just be like, I don't want to diet, I just want to emotionally eat whatever I have and whatever is in the house, or go get ice cream. Like there's gonna be the temptation for that when days like today happen when you're on your fitness routine or whatever, but you can like press through that and just go on with your life. And that's really the best thing for you, is to just get back to a normal routine, especially after something that was like kind of like traumatic for me today. So yes, I'm gonna try this, and I think I'll show you guys me trying it, although I know it's gonna be good because it's chicken parmesan. There's nothing that could not be good here. One last look at this delicious meal before I dive into it. All right, let's get a little bite of everything. Got some chicken, got some pasta. Oh, it's like comfort food. It'll bring me comfort. 10 out of 10 would recommend. If you're looking for some comfort food or something to feed your family that's like healthier but still tastes delicious, I definitely recommend this. And with this having chickpea pasta, you get chickpeas, and I also have sauteed mushrooms and onions, which really aren't sauteed in anything. All vegetables hold water, so as you start to cook them, that water is released, and it basically, you can steam vegetables without having to use any butter or oil, and that's usually what I do. So there's mushrooms, onions, and chickpeas in here. Super lean protein source, low-fat mozzarella, a low-carb, low-sugar marinara sauce. So this is like really, really like healthy for your family. I recommend it. Thank you guys for watching this vlog with me today. If you stuck it all the way through to the end after I broke so many promises to you about what this video would contain. If you would like a vlog of me showing meals that are like under 300 calories all day, let me know, because I felt like that was a good idea. Like I came up with it and I was like, hey, that's kind of helpful, right? Like people always need to know meal ideas for when they don't have a ton of calories left to eat in the day, or just want to have some like low calorie meals on hand if you want to be dieting. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. And yes, thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Also, if you stay till the end, you get to see Nacho curling up in a shoebox. You're welcome. Nacho. You're so cute.